Previously on 2 Up and Overloaded. Our adventures into Kalimantan, the Indonesian side of the island of Borneo, have officially begun. But now we are about to see a side of this remote region of Indonesia that few outsiders ever get to witness. This is the real Kalimantan, and we are going to give you an exclusive glimpse of life in one of the least populated and least visited regions of this part of the world. We are pulling back the curtain and going into the shadows of Kalimantan. Wow, new fruit that I've never seen before in my life. Amazing.
Hey everyone, nice to have you here. We are Tim
And Marissa No Tear.
I ride in the front
And I'm in the rear.
We travel the world and we pack too much gear.
Oh, all the places we'll go.
Through rain and through sleet and through mud and through snow.
Oh, all the things we'll see.
We've been to a country or two.
Or 3. Oh, all the fun we've had.
You have you along would make us real glad.
So give us a like and
Hit subscribe to join us along our epic ride.
So that evening we had a lovely ride to a little village where we had reserved a hotel for the night called Nanga Tayap.
We had actually stopped at that hotel on our way north, but it was during some festival, and all the hotels, the one out of the 2, this one included, were sold out. But
Yes.
Thankfully, they had rooms to spare this time around. Move the shoes, love. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, we got off the bike and he showed us a room that, it's on the 2nd floor, and there's this really tight, narrow spiral staircase that went up.
Yeah!
Up there and there. Okay. Terima kasih. B1. Alright, terima kasih.
I mean, first of all, this whole village is just so cool. It's all along the road, like a little strip. It's a tiny town. There's not much going on in this part of Kalimantan. It's extremely rural. And then this is the one hotel of the town. And it's got all these rooms up on the 2nd floor. The family of the hotel lives on the 1st floor. You go up this little tiny winding staircase, and then you take off your shoes and leave them at the front, and then go through the hallways until we came to our room. We stopped at 2 places when we came here the first time. Terima kasih. He remembers us from before, but they were all full. This is nice that we're able to stay here this time. And this room, he's changed us to this room, which has a bathroom. That's nice. Yeah. It's been a long, hot day, and there's no hot water, but you know what? Who needs that? Thank you. This place has so much character. I love it. All right. Shoes are not allowed inside the house. I know that, but sometimes I get confused with where is inside and where is outside. But I think I can put them on here. And then, look at that. Poor Tim is going to try to get the whole back bag up these spiral stairs that are super narrow.
And it was nice. It had its own bathroom, aircon, which was very important, and it had a little balcony that you can look out at the jungle. Well, you know, it was mostly some palm oil in the foreground, but then, you know, there was some mountains in the background. And directly down below us, remember there's those little kittens that we saw?
Aww.
So, yeah, so it was really, really nice. It was a peaceful little place, and I'm really glad that they had a room for us.
Yes. All right, food time. Oh, look how pretty it is out here. Wow. Hello. I really felt in that moment, like already it's very bizarre for foreigners to be in this part of Indonesia. But I felt like this family had just let us in to their home and was showing us their life in this part of Kalimantan, which was a really special opportunity. And that evening, we decided to go get some dinner, and we found a place. This is so bizarre. I couldn't have made this up if I tried. We found a restaurant that was themed after the Japanimation show One Piece.
Yeah, you're surprised. I totally get it. Like, like we're in Asia, Southeast Asia.
True.
You know, there's One Piece shirts all over the place. There's car bumper stickers.
That's
true. Decals. This guy reinvests all of his financial,
profits from the
restaurant back into little action figures.
Yeah, they had all these figurines of and posters of all the different villains that the show has. I thought it was so cool. And heroes. Very true. After we ate at that restaurant, we were walking around the town and came across a soccer game happening.
Yeah.
It was shirts versus half shirts.
Yep.
There were chickens and roosters in the field.
The official refs were the chickens clucking and clucking. Yeah.
You know your team's not very good when the chickens come home to roost on your side of the field.
It was so cool, and they invited us to join them, but unfortunately our soccer skills are very lacking. They would have been very disappointed.
Not only that, I don't think I could have ran from one side of the field to the other of that humidity.
That's true. It's so hot.
But a lot of people play when the sun is setting.
Yes.
So that makes, the heat of the day has dissipated, or is dissipating. And it's just fun to see the small village life as is, daily life. And it was really, really cool just to partake and view it. Yeah, the sun was setting behind the soccer field, and it was such a joy to watch these people having just such a good time, playing a sport despite how hot it was. They were just really enjoying themselves. The next morning, we woke up to the sounds of the village waking up, which included the cawing of roosters. Is that what they do? They caw? They click and clack and cluck.
They click and clack and cluck. The clicking and clacking and clucking of the roosters. And the village just waking up. You could hear, some motorcycles and scooters going around, and the call to prayer echoing across the river that winds through the town and the hills.
Yeah, and along with the bright sun rising were the bright wide smiles of the lovely little ladies beneath us that were serving breakfast.
Good morning. Right downstairs they have this wonderful breakfast. Ooh,
They were right underneath our little spiral staircase, underneath a little balcony porch, and I got some basic rice and some chicken. You got bubur, which is like
rice porridge.
It's like gruel. It looks like, but
yeah,
Marissa
but they
loves
add
it.
so many things to it. It's like a porridge, but then you got chicken and egg, and then like all the sweet sauces like Maggi in it.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Bang goreng.
Yeah, okay.
Fish?
Yeah. No, it's just other fried things.
But most importantly, they had coffee. And
Yes.
so we took our food and our hot little cup of coffee and crawled up the little tight staircase and
Yes.
got to the balcony, and we were able to have a nice little breakfast overlooking a really friendly town, and it was really special.
Good morning, everyone. Look at this breakfast of champions. Oh, and this gorgeous view.
Nang nakayap.
So today is going to be the big, long day. This was the day that when we were coming north through Kalimantan, that day was over 6 hours of riding, which is a lot for us. The roads are not perfect. The bike, the suspension is not perfect. It's really rough. My back hurts today. My neck and shoulders hurt. So yeah, this is going to be pretty much another 6-hour day. That includes resting along the way. It's going to be a long day, and there's no way around that because there's no hotels between here and there. So we're just going to do it. And so we're going to try to leave as early as we can and get onto the road. But I love this town. I kind of miss this town already. If we had more time, I would totally stay here an extra day. It's just a great little town.
I can't just say enough, Indonesians and Malaysians, just this little corner of the world is just the happiest, friendliest people. Our Indonesian's not very good, their English is not very good as well, but from smiles, and they know how thankful we are, and we know how happy and polite and loving they are, so it's really nice. They're just really excited.
Everyone in this town is so nice. Everyone, like across the street, they're like, hi, hey. They're so nice. I really like this town. As we were getting packed up, the local family that owned the hotel that we were staying at all came out to see what this whole motorcycle thing was all about, to see us packing and to say goodbye. And they were so sweet. Oh my goodness, it didn't matter that there was a bit of a language barrier. We were all just so happy to be there in that moment, in the village, like all of us. Oh my gosh, they were amazing.
Yeah. The wife of the husband who owned the place came out, and like the mother-in-law came out. Nama? Nama?
Niati.
Nama?
My name Bayat Ridwan.
Alright. Lina. Halima. Terima kasih. Thank you all very, very much. And there's kids running around. There's like 3 different generations of people like saying bye to us and smiling, and they introduced each other to us, and it was really special to have them send us off.
I will always remember the village of Nangatayap, and it will always have a special place in my heart.
Thank you, mister. You have a good day. Thank you, brother.
Yep. Okay.
And we're not going anywhere.
Uh-oh.
Alright. That's Dorka for you, folks.
Once we got on the road, we realized that this is awesome motorcycle riding. Because there's nobody on these roads, and they're really well made. And actually, there's not many roads in Kalimantan. This is just like the one road that goes from north to south, and we were taking it. And the countryside is beautiful.
Full? Oh, we have a lot. Terima kasih.
And we got to a little lunch spot after a nice sunny day. There's some little sprinkles of rain. Not a full-on lunch, but just to rehydrate. And they had some donuts.
Yes.
And that always makes me squeeze the brakes real hard and do a U-turn.
I'm gonna try these green bean cakes.
Oh, look at that freshness.
That's good.
Screw that. All right, folks. Camera's over here. I'm going coconut.
Those do look good.
Oh, buddy.
I like my cake. It's delicious. It's like mamul. It's like a date cake. Uh-oh.
I thought this was coconut, but it's not. It's shredded cheese, which is coconut.
There's two cute little kids that were, sitting by us chatting up a storm.
Yeah. And you brought out the drone, and the kids had never seen anything like this before in their lives, and they were super excited about this thing that could fly.
Yeah. So I let them play with the joystick to get the drone to go high.
Yeah.
There's a better word for that.
To go up.
To go up.
Launch? I don't know.
To ascend.
Yes.
Yeah, they were laughing and giggling and really having a good time.
So we headed off again on the motorcycle, but unfortunately the weather was turning against us.
But whatever.
Whatever.
Like gray skies and, a little bit of rain kind of cools you down. And it's not so bad. Rarely have we actually put on our rain gear. You know, so that just shows you that when it starts raining, it's almost welcoming.
We passed this strange building. It looked like a stadium.
Yeah.
It was huge. I think it was a racetrack. I don't know if it was
Like
used
horse
anymore,
racing.
but it certainly wasn't being used at that moment in time.
No, it kind of looked like the first episode of like After Humankind,
Yeah.
when like the nature starts to take the buildings back. This is like the 10-year after, but
That's right. I think part of the problem is that when you're in such a jungly, humid climate, things deteriorate really quickly. I mean, it doesn't take long before the jungle starts taking its buildings back
this is true.
and overgrowing everything. I mean, that racetrack could have been used every weekend for all I know, and still the plants are just trying to eat it alive. I don't think racetracks are alive, but you get the idea.
Like gorillas in the mist over here.
I remember these roads, these shops that we passed and stuff.
Yeah, we ate ice cream back up over there. We just passed it. I would have stopped again, but there was no ice cream man.
Yeah.
On our way south, we're seeing all of our greatest hits that we had seen on the way north, but from a different angle. And we pulled over to the little restaurant that was the first time you've ever had rambutan.
Yes!
And the whole store was kind of revamped, and they had upgraded their little storefront, which was really, really cool.
Okay, so we actually stopped here for lunch before. I don't know if you guys remember it, but it was totally different. They didn't have any of this. This was part of the restaurant. Tim's phone overheated, and we sat here to restart it and stuff. Then the bike didn't start right there, and we were eating right over there. Now the restaurant is just this.
And they were just as generous and kind and thoughtful and remembered us from our first bout and gave us a bunch of fruit along with the rice I had. And
it was delicious.
absolutely amazing.
And they're so generous. They just kept coming out with new things for us to try, just like the first time that we had been there.
We were so full, and they were like, and here's course 13, and we're like, whoa.
And just like the first time that we came here, he's brought fruit out for us. I love this place. Look. Wow.
Give this place 4 stars on Yelp.
Yes. And I think that just goes to show how incredible being in this part of Kalimantan really is. You know, this is so far off the tourist track that they have restaurants, they have hotels, but it's so strange to see tourists like us there. And we felt so welcomed, and it was a truly unique experience.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is Timun Suri.
And then we put condensed milk on top of it. This looks like Delicia, the lucha di. It's gonna be
Tres
sweet.
leches. Oh, terima kasih banyak. Oh, look at all this. So nice.
We almost got out of here.
Ooh, it's got a peel on one side, I think.
Okay. It tastes, doesn't have a lot of taste.
Really?
Yeah. Tastes like flavorless watermelon.
Really?
Unripe watermelon.
Yeah, I think it does need the condensed milk to have any sort of flavor whatsoever. It's just like banana mush without the banana flavor.
Yeah.
There's seeds in it. It's like a melon.
Yeah.
After a little meal, I was messing around with the motorcycle. It's professional folks right here. Bajaj Electronics 101. I think this is the electric choke, but sometimes now when I start the bike, it just revs crazy. So I killed that, but this thing broke a couple decades ago, and this is how it goes on now. It's got an electric choke on it that sometimes gets plugged in once like mechanics are messing around with it. They're like, oh, this is unplugged, and I don't notice. But when I'm stopped at like gas stations and start to bike or pull up to like a red light, like idling, it's just, you know, at like 3,000 RPM, it's like, you know, and it's like, okay, well that's not good, and everybody in the vehicles around me are looking at me like I'm some kind of weirdo. I took Dorco's side panel off, which is pretty easy because it falls off all by itself. I saw that little thing was plugged back in, so I unplugged that. And
what, the choke?
Yeah, the choke, and hopefully that would settle the insane revving issue.
Yeah, the...
Nailed it.
Thank you, thank you. All right, So this next stretch of road, we knew because we remembered it very clearly from the first time that we had come along it. And it was maybe the worst stretch of road as far as the road conditions go in all of Kalimantan. We only have about 2 hours left. Actually 2 hours 20 or so. Out of a 6-hour day, that's pretty good. But this is the part I remember this road because it's terrible, especially with Dorco. The suspension's so bad on our bike that all the potholes and bumps, they just are brutal. And there's lots of trucks, you know, they're running palm oil and things. And yeah, this part of the journey is gonna be the worst, and it's the last stretch of the day when you're the most tired and you sweat out all your energy. It's all up to Tim to keep us safe and alive. And so we were mentally preparing ourselves for it. No! No! It didn't take too long for us to find this incredible little stall that was selling fruit on the side of the road.
Yeah, Marissa had to use the bathroom.
I did.
To find like a bathroom is kind of difficult.
Yes.
But this place looked like they sold some stuff, and we were more than happy to buy something so Marissa can use the potty.
And they let me, and it was so nice. Siapa nama ini?
Cempedak.
Cempedak. Okay.
And they had it wasn't jackfruit, it wasn't durian, but it was like a hybrid.
Yes. It's like a durian, but not like a durian. I've actually tried it, and it's not so bad. So I'm gonna try. It's more like jackfruit, which I really like.
And
I'm sure it's just its own unique fruit, but it reminded me of a cross between jackfruit and durian. Now, durian, we've discovered we don't like.
yeah, and jackfruit I'm not the biggest fan of.
I love jackfruit, and so I was really excited to try this fruit.
It's almost like durian.
And thankfully, it did taste more like jackfruit than it did durian. I don't think I could eat a whole lot of it like I can with jackfruit, but it was definitely a unique experience to taste it.
What is your name? Nama?
Siapa nama?
Hartman.
Hey buddy, nice to meet you.
That's the wrong hand.
Oh, my...
But there's a cute kid, there's very kind, lady, and
Oh, they're so nice.
the men were very nice as well. There's more curious chickens clucking around, so it's turning out to be a really nice, overall day of meeting really nice people, trying strange foods, exploring a beautiful part of the world.
Absolutely.
Berapa ini?
No.
No.
Kami punya pohon sendiri.
This was going to be our last day in Kalimantan.
Well, that's
And
full
so
day.
it was truly special for us to have not only had that experience at that wonderful little village of Nangatayap, but then to have experienced all these wonderful tiny places and kind people along the way. Because this evening we were going to be heading along that horrible stretch of road and going to the town of Kumai, where we had first landed from the ferry from Java. And now we were going to be taking a ferry back to the island of Java.
This is true. Wasn't looking forward to this ferry. I'm not a huge fan of the ferries.
This is a 24-hour ferry. Yes. Bye-bye. Terima kasih. Bye-bye. Next time, we head through what is probably the worst stretch of road in Kalimantan, to the place where we want to take a 24-hour ferry back to the island of Java. The ferry is packed full of passengers, and also some not so welcome passengers. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. Ding ding. And we'll be seeing you next time.
Stay safe, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
The motorcycle you noticed was every time you turn it on, it would go like.
Wasn't that later at the different fruit vendor?
Oh, okay. But I was doing such a good job.
Yeah, I had to stop. It was too perfect.
That racetrack could have been used every weekend for all I know, and still the plants are just trying to eat it alive. I don't think racetracks are alive, but you get the idea. All right.
Bad joke.
My jokes are amazing,
No, they're
okay?
awful.
They just are very rare. I will always remember the village of Nangatayap, and it will always have a special place in my heart.
Right about here. Right there.
Yeah,
That's the special place.
yeah. That's where you are most of the time. Okay.
Nangataya.